Warm country?
Yeah, I'm buying house. For you guys and not drinking wine. So over here, one thing has been in that shop. Velvet bag.
Good morning, everybody. I was just wondering if you could all please gather in a little bit closer so that we can make it a bit more intimate. So gather on in rather than hanging up the back there. There are a couple of spare seats over the side here as well if anyone needs a seat.
I can hear the words you speak when the west wind whispers. I can hear your voice ring clear in the evergreens. Am I who you thought I'd be? Am I what you pictured? Did you have me standing here in your wildest dreams? Oh, oh, oh. Just like a memory, you never left me. You just left too soon. I'll save you a seat next to me. You're always at the table. Hope you're proud of what you see. Watching with the angels. You're written in my soul. It's your blood that I bleed. Where walls, oh, I still get shivers. Running like a family car down a Warford Day. Did you find Mom up there? Tell me, are you with her? I wonder if the ones who go miss the ones who stay. Oh, oh, oh. Just like a Mary, you never left me. You just left too soon. I'll save you a seat next to me. You're always at the table. Hope you're proud of what you see. Watching with the angels. You're written in my soul. It's your blood that I bleed. Wherever you are, wherever I'll be, I'll save you a seat. Keep your room like nothing's changed. Drive it low, but it's not the same. Not damn near broke when I heard your name. You had to go, you couldn't stay. So I'll save you a seat next to me. You're always at the table. Hope you're proud of what you see. Watching with the angels.
While you are sad because Clyde has gone from your lives, others are rejoicing because he is with them once again. Good morning, my name is Kathy McCullough, and I'm your celebrant today for the sad farewell of Clyde Bromage. I'm a Bruthen girl for those of you that don't know me, and I've known the family for most of my life. He's a man who will be missed by you all in different ways. Clyde passed away peacefully, surrounded by family at the Bairnstyle Hospital on the 2nd of December after a battle with cancer. On behalf of myself, the staff of Stephen Bagg's Funerals, and especially the Bromage family, I want to thank you all for coming here today to show your love and support for the family and for each other. I want to thank those that have travelled to be here today, and I want to thank those that are joining us via the live stream. Clyde was a much-loved husband of Margaret for 63 years, and she has been waiting to be reunited with him for 2. He was a loving father of Janice, Tony, Lisa and Adrian, and Chris, who passed away 5 years ago and was no doubt waiting there with a beer in his hand for his dad. He was an admired father-in-law of Stephen, known as Jap, Marie and Rachel, an adored pop and old pop of Breton and Pagan, Finley and Remy, Nicholas, Courtney, Daniel, Jensen, Avery and Paisley, Erin, Michael, Jack, Archie and Harry, Alana, Ebony and Ash, Daniel, Kelsey, Theo and Bailey, Samantha and Jacob, and a new little girl who is arriving any day now. She's arrived. Oh, when did she arrive? This morning. Oh, how precious. Oh, she's got a guardian angel there then, hasn't she? Also, Kimberly and Sarah, Georgia, William and Xavier. He was an uncle, a relative and a friend to many. Today you'll hear about Clyde's life through his life story that the family have written and Gags will be reading. There'll be an opportunity for family members to come up and share a few special memories with us before we lay Clyde to rest with Margaret and Chris. And following on from the ceremony here, you're all invited back to no other place but the Bruthen pub, where you can continue to share your memories while you enjoy a drink or two in Clyde's memory and watch a selection of photos that they've put together, which will be on display, flicking over while they're at the pub as well. I'd now like to ask Gags to please come up and tell us about his dad.
Good morning, family and friends. Thank you, Kathy, for your opening words and for being involved in our family once again in this time of mourning. When we lose someone dear to us, we gather to celebrate their life, reflect on their impact and share the stories to ensure their legacy lives on. Today, we honour the life of Clyde Bromage. Nowadays, when we search for details on someone, we commonly revert to Google, Wikipedia or LinkedIn. So I did this to discover what I might reveal on Clyde. The result? Not a great deal. Of course, with a man of Clyde's generation, there's not much of a presence on these platforms. As I explored more, the moral of this reflection is you don't need to be online presence or be famous to be a legend. Clyde's true legacy is reflected in the lives he touched, the smiles he inspired, and the memories he created. In my pursuit of this contemplation of Clyde's legacy, I then turned to social media, which tells a more intimate story. On Facebook, as I scrolled through the heartfelt posts and comments, the true sentiment emerged. Clyde wasn't just loved, he was cherished. Overwhelmingly, the sentiment was repeated. Kind, loyal, honest, a great bloke, a mentor and a teacher, a true worker, a true bushy, a true gentleman, a Bruthen legend. I refer here part to the touching tribute from Charlie Whelan and his team. I'll come back to these personal traits that Clyde possessed later on. For a moment, I want to reflect on my own Facebook post. As I stumbled on a picture that I come across from a newspaper article, I think Janice might have sent it to me at some stage. I found it in my phone among the photos. As the saying goes, a picture paints 1,000 words. This one image really stood out to me. It was Clyde sitting on his trusty old esky, fishing rod in hand, dressed in his work clothes and an old hat. I can guarantee there was a beer tucked away behind the esky for the photo. And he had a warm, easy smile on his face. That smile says it all. A man content with the simple, beautiful joys of life. Bit of a life recollection. Tony recounted 2 years ago at Mum's service. It was during their teenage years that Mum encountered the man with the movie star looks. And that was it. Clyde and Margaret, married on the 24th of October 1959, 65 years ago. And now here we are, lifelong companions. After a couple of years of heartbreak, he now gets the opportunity to reignite with his Maggie doll. Margaret and Clyde lived and worked in Bruthen, where their eldest children, Janice and Chris, were born before shifting to Traralgon to work for 3 years. On return to Bruthen in 1963, they added 3 more children, Tony, Lisa and Adrian. Clyde embarked on a lifelong career in the timber industry and civil construction. He worked with many great local families of our region, the Southerns, the Blairs, the Campbells, the Schraders, the Rouchers and many more. Remiss of me if I've forgotten some. I know there was many more. Before moving to the Whelans group, where he settled for goodness who knows how long. His lifelong associations with the Bruthen Football Club, Angling and Bowls Club were famous. Wood chopping was his great tradition, with Clyde proudly boasting a World Championship sash as part of his career. Through these clubs and the Bruthen community, Clyde established some amazing friendships, and it's a testament to those relationships that you have honoured us with your presence here today. Back to some of those personality traits. A great bloke, a true gentleman. Clyde was, and as many would agree, a great bloke and true gentleman. He was the kind of man whose company you sought out because he made you feel at ease. His infectious smile wasn't just a facial expression, it was an invitation to share a story, a laugh, or just a quiet moment together. An amazing work ethic, a true worker. Clyde was no stranger to hard work. He believed in giving his all, whether it was for his family, his passions, his employer, or his community. He set an example, not with his words, but with actions. His dedication was a lesson to us all. No matter what the task, do it with pride and do it with integrity. He was a mentor for us all. As a father, father-in-law, a pop, Clyde was more than just a family man. He was a mentor, a guide that taught us life lessons through his actions. He didn't need great speeches to impart his wisdom. Instead, it was the way he carried himself, steady, dependable, and always ready to lend a hand. This mentorship and teaching extended far beyond his family and into his working relationship. Wisdom and experience can never be replaced, and when coupled with Clyde's friendly nature, it became a unique blend that was regularly sought after. He was a cornerstone of our family, our legend. Clyde was a devoted dad and pop, the cornerstone of a family built on love, laughter and shared experiences. He was the first to celebrate your achievements and the first to listen when you needed support. His encouragement was unwavering. His pride in his loved ones boundless. Some of the fondest memories shared with Clyde weren't just the quiet moments, the fishing trips, the drives to suss out the next firewood patch, or just a quiet beer. Just being together, facing life's triumphs or challenges as a team spoke volumes to his strength and love for his family. Then there was a time that caused us all a great deal of stress and angst, the bushfire of 2019. The event probably shone a spotlight on one of his other personality traits, his stubbornness. Pig-headed bastard, as Margaret used to refer to it as. It was the one time we nearly come to blows and I threatened to knock him out and put him in the car. Well, I didn't, and in the end, of course, he got his way. We stayed to defend the lifelong home as among almost everyone else had evacuated the town. No water, no pump, no power, no communications. What do we do now, Clyde? It certainly turned out to be one of those quiet moments, this one a little bit more awkward than the others. In the end, his wisdom prevailed. Been here before, lad. Front will pass. We'll be fine. The rest of the family were beside themselves over that night. Couldn't get in contact with us. And I'll never forget Rachel's phone call when the communications resumed in the morning. Thank God you're alive. How are you going this morning, Clyde? I'm hungry. No eggs. You stole my chooks last night. More on that story later because it's a long one. I want to share some thoughts from family members that I know Tony and a few of the ones are going to get up and have a few words to say, but I just want to share some of the thoughts from other family members that I'm privileged to speak on their behalf. I'll start with Janice's family. So Janice's recollection of Clyde. Dad was a hard worker during the week, loved his time relaxing on the weekend. As kids, we were dragged in my case, along on fishing trips and many wood chops. It was sink or swim time at Ramrod, when Dad would throw us in the water, teach us to swim. Luckily, we all made it to the rock or back to the bank. I must have been a goody-goody, as I don't recall being in Dad's bad books, unlike the boys that come after me. After a lifetime of being there for us kids and Mum, we're privileged to be there for him when his time came. Love you, Dad. Time for a well-earned rest. Our recollection from Jap, or Stephen, of Clyde. He was an excellent judge of character, told me early days I could come back any time. Always let me catch more fish than him. He could be stubborn at times. Now to be serious. Clyde was much more of a father-in-law to me. He was a great mate. I got the opportunity to learn and do many things together. Using a chainsaw, going out and getting many, many loads of wood, surf fishing, river fishing, veggie gardening, even finding a marijuana crop while getting wood one day. He was generally a calm person, except when Gags had already mentioned during the bushfires when we come out to make him leave. Janice and I were lucky to be able to spend a lot of time with him over the past 6 months and assist in small ways, although he still wouldn't let me plant the banana tree at Lilo. There were many times, though there were not many like Clyde anymore, and I've been lucky enough to call him my father-in-law. Love you, Clyde. Rest well. You certainly deserved it. From Brenton and Pagan, who are unfortunately not here today. Brenton's in America. My best memories with Pop were when we went fishing together. He taught me all the skills needed to be a great fisherman. I never forget him jokingly saying, I'm sure we've all heard this before, do that again, I'll kick your ass until your nose bleeds. Pop was kind, caring, a thoughtful man, loved deeply by all his grandchildren and great-grandchildren. He brought so much joy and warmth to our lives. Now reunited with Nan and Margaret, we can imagine what that reunion must be like. We will carry his memories with us always until we meet again, Pop. You'll forever hold a special place in our hearts. From Courtney. Pop always took pride in growing his own veggies. Whenever he came in, he would always ask if we wanted anything. One of our favourite memories from growing up and visiting Pop was his love for his veggie garden. He would always be there with a big smile on his face, and so would we. A lot of time, love went into it, and you could tell what came out of it. We would spend hours picking and shelling delicious peas, although not many would make it to the bucket, as we would eat as many as we thought as we could shell. No others will come close to yours, Pop, but how could they when they were all grown up with the same love and patience that yours were? We love you, Pop, your grandkids. Just a little one on Chris, and I know he's left us, but Clyde now joins Mum and Chris to watch over us. Chris and Clyde had such a wonderful and special relationship. They shared so many passions, from working in the same industry, sport, adventure, fishing, and of course having the nightly beer, much to the ire of Mum. Tony's coming up to share some of his thoughts on behalf of his family in a moment. So move to Lisa. What do you say about Dad that hasn't already been said? He was the best dad we could ask for. Growing up with him, watching Elvis or cowboy and Indian movies, going swimming to Ramrod, going on trips to Melbourne to watch Carlton play, going on fishing trips to Bem River and numerous other places. There were so many more memories, but I could be here all day. The love and respect that I have for Dad will last forever. Love you, Dad. Lisa. And then Sam, wishing to send her best love, and she can't be here today for obvious reasons. First baby arrived, Summer Grace, so 1 year old, 1 day old, not even that, fresh in. From Sarah. Dear Pop, thank you for being my everything, my guide, my smile on hard days, and my constant source of joy. After Nan passed, I realised how much I wanted to spend more time with the people I loved, and you were at the top of that list, Pop. I told Mum I wanted to see Pop as much as I possibly could, because deep down I knew our time together was precious. Whether it be at Bruthen, Gags and Rachel's place, the cabin, Janice and Jap's place, I will cherish every visit. You had a way of making me smile in the simplest moments, like after family dinners when Mum would joke. You can take her home, and you'd laugh and say she can sleep in the dog bed. There's moments that always stay with me. Pop, you were one of my favourite people in the world. I was so grateful for the 16 wonderful years I had with you. For every lesson, laugh, good hug, and the story about your fishing trips. I will treasure them forever. From my family, the boys will be here soon to share some thoughts. I think, Jeff, are you live streaming at the moment?
It just went off.
Seriously? Well, Georgia sends her love from Canada, and she is online as she live streams, but she wanted to pass on some words as well. Georgia really is really disappointed and upset that she can't be here today, but she sends her best love and wishes. Pop, thank you for the many years of wisdom, love and guidance. You've helped shape me in the person I am today, and I'll be forever grateful for the special bond we shared. Staying at Nan and Pop's house, growing up, was always one of the best parts of the week. Endless ice cream, laughter-filled stories, and so much love. These memories are treasured and I hold close to my heart. I will always remember the adventures we shared, fishing together, road tripping to Narooma, and our fun family holidays. Those moments were filled with so much joy and connection. Thank you for everything you've given me and our family. I miss you more than words can say, but I'll carry the love lessons with me always. Rest peacefully, Pop. You'll always be in my heart. Pop, love you always, Georgia. From Rachel. Clyde welcomed me into the Bromage family with open arms over 30 years ago. I always felt so blessed to have such a wonderful, close relationship with him. After Margaret passed away and Clyde decided it was time to sell his beloved house in Bruthen, we knew that asking him to move in with us was the natural and right thing to do. It wasn't just about what he had done for us over the years, it was about so much more than that. It was an absolute privilege to have him as part of our home and our lives. Those moments were so special for all of us, but especially for Xavier, who shared such a unique and beautiful bond with his pop. I've never seen anything quite like it. I've always been so proud to call myself Clyde's daughter-in-law. I truly cherish the relationship we shared and already miss him more than I can put into words. Gosh, I love that man. And just a final farewell. Clyde Bromage lived a life full of pride, dedication and love, and we're all privileged and better off for having known him. As we say goodbye, take comfort in knowing Clyde has been reunited with those who passed before him. Maggie Doll, Diesel, Gabby and Raider, his dogs. His presence here will be deeply missed, but his legacy endures in the values that he instilled in us. Work hard, love deeply, and always find joy in the little things. To Dad, thank you for being our teacher, our guide, and our friend. Thank you for the memories, the lessons, and the love. You weren't just part of our lives, you were the heart of them. Rest easy, Clyde. You'll always be remembered with pride, love, and for the legend that you are. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to keep it fairly brief because Gags has stole a few of my stories, so we'll do it off the cuff. Alana's going to read a poem in a moment, but a couple of things I want to talk about were Dad was well known as a bush person, a guy with unsurpassed skills, and I remember when we were kids, he used to throw us in the ute, take us out the bush. We'd pull up somewhere unknown to us and we'd walk through the bush for hours, stopping only for him to say, "See that red box? We're coming back in a couple of weeks to get that." Lo and behold, 2 weeks later, back in the ute. Buggered if I know how we found it again, but we'd be there and we'd cut it. Dad, the sportsman. We, as people who have been heavily involved in the Bruthen Footy Club, Gags, Chris and I played quite a bit of footy at Bruthen, and I remember one day an old fella coming up to Dad and he said, "Your sons go all right. You must have been a good footballer." And Dad turned to him and he said, Yeah. Played one game in the 130 seconds. Couldn't get a kick in a bloody stampede." And then there was his cricket. Alistair and I had a quick joke about his cricket the other day. Him and Keith used to take us all as kids. And Dad's main job, obviously, in our cricket team was the driver. Because when it come to his cricket, no good. 7 ducks in a row. And then lo and behold, in his 8th innings, we had a shocker. Dad top scored with 11. And we never stopped hearing about that innings ever. You know, we talk about Dad the gardener, the kids talked about his peas, you know, and I remember one day my kids down in the garden, he picked the whole bucket full nearly, and I think Mum cooked up not even half a pot. They just kept eating and eating and eating them. And lastly, I've sort of lost a bit of track of thought here. I might get Alana to read her poem, and then I'll come back to what I want to talk to Dad about that.
Hi everyone. This poem I wrote, it's basically on behalf of all of the grandchildren, basically on that memory that we all shared that was mentioned in Courtney's speech earlier. So this is the poem for you, Pop. Grandkids in the garden, on their hands and knees, scrounging through the big green bushes, happily picking peas. Time comes round to pot 'em all, every second one we snuck. The bucket goes inside half empty and Nan yells, "What the f-?" This memory remains in our hearts, and forever by our side stands a very proud and happy man, our precious Poppy Clyde.
Thank you, Alana. Probably, I won't keep you as much longer. The two things I want to finish with is, firstly, the morning Dad passed, we were at Janice's place and we could hear this squawk, squawk, squawk out the back, and Janice and I went out the back. There's 3 magpies sitting on her clothesline. And we sat there for a couple of seconds and I looked at Janice and they're bugging me. Mum, Dad and Chris. And of course I reckon Mum was leading the chorus. Look, I really haven't got much more to say, but we love Dad. He was a great father-in-law to Marie and grandfather to, or pop to Ebony and Alana and Ash. We love you forever, mate, and I hope you enjoy it up there with Chris and Mum. Thank you. I have got a quick poem to read here. That one? Okay. He never looked for praises. He was never one to boast. Just went on quietly working for the ones he loved the most. His dreams were seldom spoken. His wants were very few. And most of the times his worries went unspoken too. He was there a firm foundation through all our storms of life, a sturdy hand to hold on to in times of stress and strife, a true friend we could turn to when times were good or bad, one of the greatest blessings, the man we call Dad. Thank you.
I think the boys are coming up. Yep. Alana, that was amazing. Well done.
Dear Pop, whilst I sat beside you saying goodbye, I reflected on all the kind things you've done for us. From building chicken coops to catching countless amount of fish for dinner. Your generosity and love for us is something I'll never forget. You showed me that respect isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about how you treat others, how you carry yourself, and the kindness you show every day. Rest in peace.
How loud is it? Yeah, good. I was very close with my pop. He was one of my biggest role models. He has been there for me for my whole life. He was the person I called when I was feeling down, because every time I talked to him, he always made me have a smile by the end of the call. I still can't believe he's gone. But he has taught me a lot over the years, like how to drive machinery, but most importantly, he taught me how to treat people. And we all know I was his favourite.
So I think that's all for the memories that we're going to be sharing here. Family needed to get up and speak. And I know that you'll all have special memories of time spent with Clyde, but I'm sure he'd rather you share those memories back at the pub with a drink in your hand, and that's exactly what you're going to do afterwards. So you've heard about his life and all the memories that have been shared, and we're just going to play a song titled Fishing in Heaven, which we think Clyde would have liked as well. And so while you listen, you just might like to reflect on some of your own memories that you have.
Know if he was here today, he'd lean on over to you and say, don't cry for me and don't be sad. I'm having more fun than I've ever had. I'm fishing in heaven, casting out and reeling in, sitting on the bank, loving the breeze. No more work for me. I'm fishing in heaven. He'd say, I know we had big dreams and plans, still come true, I know they can. I'll be beside you, and I'll be near when I'm not fishing in heaven, casting out and reeling in, sitting on the bank, loving the breeze. No more work for me, I'm fishing in heaven. And all I ask is please carry on my legacy while I'm fishing in heaven, casting out and reeling in, sitting on the bank, loving the breeze. No more work for me, I'm fishing in heaven. I'll save a place for you by me, fishing in heaven.
Perfect song. Today you've been saying goodbye to a man who was special to each of you, whether he's your dad, your pop, relative or friend. In the days, weeks and years to come, visit your memories and share them. These are just a few moments from Clyde's life that might be shared. I think Tony sort of stole some of my stuff as well with what he said. So he enjoyed sports and he loved the outdoors. Remember Clyde as an avid fisherman, both in the river and surf fishing, and then he was a member of the Bruthen Angling Club for many years. The next time you catch a big fish, maybe it was with the help of Clyde, or if they keep taking the bait, he might be laughing because you can't catch the big one. Clyde was a sportsman through and through. He loved footy and was a life member of the Bruthen Footy Club and was even secretary of the club for a while. He was a member of the local woodchop club and competed in many competitions, and as you heard, he had the ribbon for a champion. He enjoyed going out the bush and getting firewood, and on weekends he went away duck shooting with the blokes. I'm not going to repeat about the cricket, but 7 ducks, did you say? Yeah, 7 ducks in a row. And then he got the top score of 11 the next one. That's his claim to fame of cricket. In their twilight years, Clyde and Margaret got into lawn bowls at Bruthen and then later on at Howard Park Club. You've heard about Clyde's veggie garden and how he'd keep the family and friends in supply of whatever was in season, especially peas. He was a loving dad and was known to throw the odd threatening look at the boys if they acted up, but I was told that the girls were Daddy's girls. At least according to Tony, they were Daddy's girls. When he was outside, when he wasn't outside, he would sit and watch one of his favourite shows, Jag. He'd seen every episode, and while he was staying with Janice and Jap, he watched every season of Yellowstone as well. No? I thought you were shaking your head. No. Flies. No matter how you remember Clyde, I'm sure it will be with love in your hearts, maybe a tear in your eye, but hopefully with a smile on your face. And before we lay Clyde to rest once again with his Maggie doll, I'm just going to read something that I think he would have liked. Words are few, but thoughts are deep. Memories of you are ours to keep. A life made beautiful by kindly deeds, a helping hand for others' needs. Big was your heart, your friendship was true, loved and respected by all you knew. We speak of you with love and pride. We smile through tears we cannot hide. Thank you for the happy memories shared, the love you gave, the way you cared. You left a space no one can fill. We miss you now and always will. Thank you all for coming, and please remember you're all invited back to the Bruthen pub following here, where you can continue to share your memories together. Thank you.
place they call the bottom, and friends, I've been there once or twice. It's dark down there and lonely when something's missing in your life. Tonight I thought I'd had enough when I heard a voice say, "Don't give up." That whisper had an old familiar ring. I didn't see the angel, but I felt the comfort of her wings. Daddy always called her angel. I never knew the reason why. I was looking for a halo. He was looking in her eyes. She was always there to guide me with all the love her gentle hands could bring. I didn't see the angel, but I felt the comfort of her wings. Looking back in time to a young man stumbling through her kitchen door. How Mama kept on praying when she couldn't tell me nothing anymore. I'd wake up in my bed again. I guess she must have tucked me in. I can't remember much of anything. I didn't see the angel, but I felt the comfort of her wings. Daddy always called her angel. I never knew the reason why. I was looking for a halo. He was looking in her eyes. She was always there to guide me. All the love her gentle hands could bring. I didn't see the angel, but I felt the comfort of her wings. Now that the Lord's made her an angel, I feel the comfort of her wings. I can hear the words you speak when the west wind whispers. I can hear your voice ring clear in the evergreen. Am I who you thought I'd be? Am I what you pictured? Did you have me standing here in your wildest dreams?
just left too soon. I'll save you a seat next to me. You always at the table, hope you're proud of what you see. Watching with the angels, you're written in my soul. It's your blood that I bleed. Wherever you are, wherever I'll be, I'll save you a seat. Feel you in the rain that falls, or I still get shivers. Running like a family car down a forfeit lane. Did you find mom up there? Tell me, are you with her? I wonder if the ones who go miss the ones who stay. Oh, just like a baby, you never left me. You just left too soon. I'll save you a seat next to me. You're always at the table. Hope you're proud of what you see. Watching with the angels. You're written in my soul. It's your blood that I bleed. Wherever you are, wherever I'll be, I'll save you a seat. Keep your room like nothing's changed. Try to low, but it's not the same. Nothing near room without your name. You had to go, you couldn't stay. I'll save you a seat next to me. You always set the table. Hope you'll find what you see. Watching with the angels.
Yeah.